been here for 30 years. I want to know, I haven't seen the need for tasers or any need for these information, that's kind of information. I want to know, in Manhattan, what security groups have tasers in Manhattan?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, there are multiple questions there, and I'll try to address those as best I can. First of all, the injuries that I reported here are injuries where, while effecting an arrest, the officer is injured. While effecting an arrest, that means someone committed a crime, and they are being arrested for that crime, and during that particular apprehension, the officer is injured because the individual is resisting arrest and fighting with the officer. So when you say what could be done, the officers are trained, they're given training, but every officer is of a different size, of a different age. We have officers, as tall as 6'3", as short as 5'9". We have male officers, we have female officers, we have some officers that are over 50 years old here. And if they're fighting with someone who is much younger and much stronger than they are, the chances of them getting hurt is there. As far as the groups in Manhattan that carry tasers, the gentleman to my right works for the NYPD. There are 34,000 police officers here.
Police officers are trained with firearms and everything. We're talking about people who are not in the police department.
Okay, let me clarify. We don't have a security group here. This is a public safety department. Our officers are certified New York State peace officers with all the powers of arrest of a police officer. We also have the designation of special patrolman from New York City, from the police commissioner of the NYPD, in order to effect those arrests when an individual commits a crime. As far as the other individual security firms, I have no knowledge of security firms and equipment use because we're not a security firm. We're a public safety department.
Besides the New York Police Department, parole officers, who are trained in use of guns. People or groups that are not trained in use of guns in Manhattan, are there any groups that use tasers? And if so, which ones?
Okay, to my knowledge, I don't know the answer. I'll ask Mark if he knows the answer.
Yeah, we have hospitals that use it, that are using it. We have SUNY using it. I'm not sure if Danbury has it.
Sorry, who's using it?
The SUNY school system. Yeah, State University of New York. That's correct. They use it in different schools. Their security.
So he also indicated that they use it in hospitals.
Keith, you have a lot of people with questions here.
Yes.
Not in Manhattan. I'm just talking about in general in New York State. I'm not familiar with any in New York City now.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to the person in the back. Thank you. Thank you for your question, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Sasha. I'm like a 30-year resident of the island. I have quite a few questions. One before the tasers. What training does public safety have for hand-to-hand combat, submission? I understand like verbal, stop, drop, whatever it is. But before that point, what do they have in their pockets aside from, okay, you didn't stop, you started to run, let me knock the baton to you because I don't want to break a leg or an arm, so let me taser you. Before that, the taser. Are there height requirements, weight requirements? What if someone is mentally ill? What if they have medical problems? If you taser them, I'd rather a broken leg than a heart attack. 3, when it comes to public safety, and I love public safety people, they're all out of shape. Well, most of them. But they fight for you. I don't see one of them being shape at least in one. Now, when these young kids, I'm sorry, see a public safety officer coming, their immediate thought is not let me fight them, it's let me run. If I get into the building, if I run down, they're going to run. With that being said, I've also seen some public safety officers with hot tempers. With that being said, there's not enough public safety officers to securely patrol Roosevelt Island. So if you need 90 and you have 40, and only 15 of those 40 actually pass the test to get the taser, are you going to guarantee that certain amount of officers on each tour are going to have these tasers, or is it going to be one of those, we have 2 tasers left over from one? These are the things that I really feel as though the money that you're going to give this guy to order X amount of tasers should be put into training programs, not just here's hand-to-hand combat or here's how to back someone down verbally. But you guys have $1 million machine cleaning downstairs or gym downstairs? Is it being utilized? Are they losing the weight? Are they gaining the muscle? Are they-
It's actually not.
That had they been in shape, had they had, stretched before they run, they might have pulled that body muscle. They might have twisted that.
Okay.
But there's so much more before you go to Taser.
All right, so Sasha, I'm going to try my best to answer as many of those questions as I can because there were a mirage of them in there. Before you, I'm going to answer her question, and then I'm going to try to move to someone here that I saw, and then I'll move back there, okay? First and foremost, there is no procedure in place with our agency, nor the NYPD, nor any police departments that I know of, and I could be corrected by the sergeant who's to my left if he has a procedure at his department where they mandate you to work out and lift weights. There is no mandate. Hold on, let me finish. It is incumbent upon each individual to take pride in the shape that they are in to be able to perform their duties.
But also, if I get overweight and I can't run down the block, my job is I can qualify for the Taser. Like, it's not, it doesn't make sense.
If you are, as you said, if only 15 individuals are certified to carry the Taser, then only 15 will. Anybody who is not certified to carry it will not be able to carry
We
it.
have 15 of the 40, and it's still not enough to secure Roosevelt Island. What if we don't have the Taser?
Well,
If 1 in 5.
Well, right now we have none. So if we get 1 or if we get 5, that puts us in a better position than if we had none. So, but you're asking me if we have 15 and 15 is not enough. We're not at that
So
point
would
yet.
there be an alternative of another program that doesn't necessarily mean getting them Tasers, but getting them training?
We do train them annually. Each officer that's trained here.
I'm sorry, but if the training is not helping them do what they need to do, then that training should change.
Okay, it's not about it, but let's not get confused. It's not about not allowing them to do what they need to do. Okay, you could be the most trained individual. I see some of the guys back there who we played in a basketball game with, and some of them are in great shape. You could be in great shape, and I'm not stating this to the guys in the back, but you could be in great shape and not know how to defend yourself. You could be tremendously, hold on, you could be tremendously out of shape and be able to do or cause serious physical injury to somebody that's in shape. But the point here is not, are we going to train them in submission training? The point here is that they are encountering more and more from off-island individuals, not so much from the island residents, individuals that want to fight when they are being apprehended.
That I understand.
Now you said, hold on, you said, wait, hold on, let me finish. You said you made a statement, and this is of course not addressed to everyone, but you said some of the island residents know that they're not going to be caught, so they just run. Fine.
Or they know that they're not
Fine.
trained to handle them that
Okay,
way. That's why they fight.
but-
If I knew you could whip me, I'm not messing with you.
Okay. And if you probably were confronted with something like this, where the officer said, put your hands behind your back, or you're going to get tased, would you put your hands behind your back?
What if you have a scary individual? Aren't they used with,
I'm just asking you, can you answer that question?
Oh, no, I understand. No, I wouldn't personally.
All right.
But there's a lot of easy keys on those bills. I don't want to do it.
Okay, I understand that. I understand all your points. I hope I answered all of your questions. The one statement that I will make to the last question, which was about training, the officers do receive defensive tactics training and have to be retrained every year. But that doesn't necessarily control what type of shape they're in. Okay? The two don't go hand in hand. So I want to address the woman here in front.
I live in the island for 20 years. I just want to say that I don't really have a problem with Roosevelt Island having tasers. I have a problem with public safety having tasers. Public safety. And I'm not trying to say all public safety, but the majority of public safety, they harass people. They take their authority too far. I feel that if they have tasers,
You have to show some respect to the person who is speaking, please. And if you'd like to speak, you can raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you if you raise your hand. Go
I
ahead.
feel like if public safety had tasers, anybody that's 30 years old and under is gonna I'm in fear for our lives. Like, I feel like we're all gonna get tased. And I feel like by you saying the camera, that doesn't mean nothing because nobody's gonna know what happened, why they tased you. All they're gonna see is you getting tased on the camera. I feel like public safety are going to tase people for no reason. I'm telling you, like,
Okay.
I've seen with my own eyes, I've seen public safety officers pull out their batons and hit people with batons, they have these weapons. I've seen them harass people. Or I was outside on the 4th of July, they said it was 200 people. When the fireworks used to be at the end of the island, it used to be thousands of people. And public safety only did that because it was young kids. If it was adults, they would not have done that. I feel like people said they maced people, like people that was coming out of the store, people that were getting off the bus. There was no fighting going on. Just because people were standing there and there were so many people, they maced them. Like public safety said that they're going to be able to use their tasers for verbally. If we're sitting outside, it's summertime, we're young, we might be making a little bit of noise. We're not in the building making noise. They want to come move us from outside. Are they going to tase us if we're outside making noise?
And I would answer to that, no. There's going to be procedures in place. There are going to be procedures in place that are very specific and very direct in how the taser, if they get it, how it's going to be deployed. It's going to be specific in the procedures. I've listened to you. I want to get to several others. The presentation is going to end at some point.
My last thing to say is that public safety, they abuse their mace, and they abuse their batons, they abuse their mouths, they abuse how they speak to people, they abuse everything. They're going to abuse the tasers, and people are going to get hurt. Public safety does not need to have tasers.
Okay. I thank you for the note, but I'm not going to mention that right now. I want to go to the next person whose hand I think I saw, and that's going to be over there. Okay, all right. Before we go to you, we're going to go right here.
Yes, I want to talk about.
Can you stand up, please, Jeff? Thank you.
For, I don't know, about 20 years, and I've never once experienced any kind of violence or problem with anybody on the island. I have been harassed by the public department before for parking my car on standby to do my groceries while I'm away with me. So I want to talk about manufacturers' risk on acknowledgements, and I want to read about them saying that in a training bulletin that repeated blasts of a taser can be breathing respiration, and also that medical research that is coming out is showing that close broken heart distances have a likelihood or a possibility that they may affect the rhythm of the heart. And I have seen when they demonstrated their 2 dots, they're kind of far apart from each
Well,
other.
that's because I was using the wall. The person would not be that far.
Right. But
If I use someone in front of me, they might be that far.
So you have to get really close.
Not really close. Not really close, but closer. I'm going to allow one of my colleagues to answer the question that you asked, and I thank you for your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to answer your question. I just want to make sure everybody understands our role here, because obviously there's a lot of passion in the room, and we're kind of outsiders, so I just want to let you know where the answer is coming from. I've been a police officer for 23 years, and I also work for Taser on the side as an instructor. We call it a master instructor because I train instructors. That said, I'm here on my own time getting paid a fee by Taser to answer questions. If Roosevelt Island bought every single person on the island a Taser, or no Tasers, my fee doesn't change. And that's designed to give me some credibility to people because I'm not tied to a fixed dollar amount. So on your first question about the manufacturer's warnings, about repeated exposures, what that's designed to do is to make sure the officers understand that if they're going to apply this tool, that they do it with a certain amount of discretion. Because when a taser is deployed, the trigger is held back. Depending on the configuration of the weapon, it may run. Sure, this is the trigger.
I'm very small. I want to avoid my trunk area
I didn't hear you.
as I'm really small and there could be somebody else that's my size.
Sure. I'm going to raise my voice so you can hear me. So the taser is powered by lithium batteries. Okay, that's what's activating the laser, and that's what will activate the electricity. So any small flashlight you have that has those small fat batteries that they charge the arm, the Lake Forest CPS, 750 battery. That's what's in here. In this case, a couple of them. So that activates the laser, and it also allows the electricity to flow. So when the safety is turned on, which is basically a big on and off switch, it allows the lasers to come on. The lasers are set for what we call the ballistics of the cartridge. So in this young lady's case, as you can see where I am, one laser is in her abdomen, one laser is on her leg. As I
was on the wall. She was right.
I'm gonna get there. As I close the distance, do you see what's happening to the spread of the laser? It is also closer. As I expand my distance from her, that distance is also going to expand. So the cartridges, when they come out, have a certain amount of wire that connects back to the device. Typically, police officers are armed with cartridges that can send that probe, or that dart as you mentioned, 25 feet out. Unfortunately, in real life, I've shot about 800 people with a taser. Because police officers that carry a taser are shot with a taser where I work before they can carry it. So they understand the significant event that this is, so they don't treat it as a toy. So where I work, every single police officer has to get the same exposure that a citizen would get. But in those 800 exposures, I have to tell you, in a controlled setting, we do vary the distance. In the 12 people that I've used it on in a confrontation, in a fight, because where I work, there has to be a fight. Typically, we're about here, not at 25 feet, because here is where we talk to people, and certainly if I'm a police officer, I'm going to put handcuffs on this lady, I'm going to be this close. So when we are this close, follow up with your second question about the heart-to-dart margin of safety. One particular medical study found that if I were to put a probe, in other words, the probes are going to land with a laser, if I were to put the probe exactly over her heart, and run the electricity in a straight line from the positive probe to the negative probe directly through her cardiac muscle, that is, it won't kill her. There's not one death certificate in this country that lists Taser as a cause of death. However, this increases the risk of some type of physiological harm. At the same distance, if I were to lower the probes and put them in her hips, it's much safer because we're not affecting cardiac muscle. So what police officers are trained to do at this distance is, rather than like a firearm, shoot here. First of all, no one stands still because no one wants to get hit with a taser. So in this situation, she's moving around, I'm moving around. What I need to do is get one, not both, one probe in her, and then if I touch her with the taser itself, that will be the second point of contact.
Or you could tell these people with just the taser without probes.
Yes. It's a different type of application. So, as I said, I'm not here to get into your discussion about whether your public safety officer should have it.
I think you have to give them the respect of letting him answer his question. We heard you, and now moving to the next person. Thank you.
Like any other tool that a police officer has, it's a tool for a specific situation. Not the company, not a police officer will tell you that this is a magic wand or a solution. Law enforcement is local, that's your decision. But in applying it to minimize that risk, we train officers when they're close to shoot in the hip area, and at no time should officers shoot unless it's a life and death situation above the mid-chest area, specifically to avoid the harm. Thank you.
Yes, and also, how can we vote on whether you can get these tasers or not?
You're not going to vote. The folks that will determine whether or not we get it are the board of directors of the Roosevelt Diamond Operating Corporation.
And what's the
So
budget?
it's not, you want to know the budget of how much it would cost?
Yes, and how many people are planning to get?
Okay, I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe that if we outfitted every officer in our department with a taser and with the proper training, it would cost no more than $75,000. And if we were to purchase about 15 or 20 of them, it would be about $30,000 with the training. Those are rough numbers, so don't hold me to those, but that's what we're talking about.
And why not put those money into something else like a better youth program?
We have nothing to do with the youth program. This particular forum is for the taser. That question that you have needs to be addressed to someone else. The money, yes, the Roosevelt Operating Corporation has set aside funds in the event that the program is implemented to purchase the tasers and the training.
When will the program be?
We don't know. We're still in preliminary stages of this. As I indicated when I first started speaking, this is a summit so that we can share information with the public. We didn't come to get the approval of the public or the permission of the public. We're sharing information. It does not mean that tomorrow we're going to have tasers. It does not mean that a year from now we're going to have tasers. We're exploring the possibility of utilizing this tool, which we feel will help reduce the number of officers that are injured and the number of subjects that are injured when they are arrested. Okay?
One last thing, who prefers for them not to have tasers? Could you please raise your hands?
Okay, that's
That's just for your information.
no, that's pretty good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.